Not so long ago, I brought you a video where we jumped forwards 5 years in FM22 to see how Barcelona coped with their massive nearly £1 billion worth of debt. In those 5 years, well, they won very little. In fact, they won nothing. They won 0 trophies, 0 La Ligas. They didn't do much. So I thought, let's jump forward 20 years and see if things get any better for them. Let's do this. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts and today we've got the second part of this Barcelona simulation then. So we've done 5 years, and sometimes when we do these 5-year simulations, amazing things happen and we just say, you know what, we have to see more. We have to go 20 years in the future and find out what happens. In this case, we did 5 years and well, very little actually happened. They didn't win a trophy. They didn't win a league title. They had a £980 million debt or whatever it was. It's now like £770 million in debt. Not much actually happened. So in this case, it's a lack of happenings, a lack of action. That means that actually I want to go 20 years in the future and find out if anything does happen. Will they win a La Liga title? Will they win a trophy? Will the debt actually encompass the club and they might have financial troubles like administration or something? I do want to see that. So 20 years is what we're going to do. Before we do jump the 20 years into the future, which we're going to do in one fell swoop, and then I'll go back and we'll go through, hopefully in a bit of chronological order. I know a few of you have been asking for that in some of the comments, so I'm going to try and do that today. Hopefully you like this way of doing things. Let me know once again in the comments. Before we go and do that, we will look at the end of the 5-year sim just to catch things up. Make sure we're all on the same page. Make sure that everyone is up to date. If you haven't watched the 5-year sim, then I'll pin it up here if you want to go and watch that first and come back to this one. But as I mentioned, not much happened in it really. So yeah, basically you're not going to have missed anything. Before we do even have a look at that save though, a quick reminder that if you've not already subscribed to the channel and you enjoyed these simulations, I've got so many more lined up. We've done the Wrexham 5-year. I want to do the Wrexham 20-year. There's a few other clubs I want to do as well. Schalke, for example. If you enjoy these types of videos, then make sure you subscribe because I'm going to keep them coming at you thick and fast. Also, give the video a like. Leave me those comments down below. Let's jump into the save. All right, so here we are then in the save at 2026, 5 years into the future from the start of FM22 then. And this is the financial situation, £70 million in debt as the overall balance. The debt though, overall, the net debt is £716 million. So it starts at over 900 million. They've got it down slightly, but still, I mean, it's not great, is it? In fact, if you look at the projection, they're projected to be 425 million in debt, and that's just the club balance. That's not even the net debt overall. So financially, they're not doing great, are they? They did spend some money through the years, if you remember. They were like, I mean, I'll just scroll through these here. Look, you can see they spent little bits and bobs as they went through 27. They spent big here, but I think that was a weird one that it didn't really fit with the rest of them. They did sell Frenkie de Jong for a bit of money. I think that's where the money came from, right? But yeah, they spent a bit of money. There's the money there. Look, Frenkie de Jong went to Manchester City. I missed that in the first video, so thank you to the 18 people who reminded me of that fact. I don't actually mind that because I do miss things. So if I do miss things in the save that you think are interesting, do get them down in the comments below. It's a weird situation. They finished this final season then in second in the league, just off Atletico, who won the league. So in 20 years, will they get this La Liga title? That is something we're going to find out. In terms of the managers, I have taken over as manager at this stage. Don't worry. I'm not going to be influencing anything. The save that we're continuing from, I'm just unemployed. I don't have a job. The managers who have been in this save, though, have been Koeman. Obviously, we took... well, no, actually, it wasn't obvious. He was sacked in real life, but he was sacked in the game as well. That's Simeone Inzaghi. Henrik Larsson was the caretaker manager, which I quite like. Then Luis Enrique was back at the club. And now we're going to find out how long he stays there. He's been there for 3 years on the save. That's going to continue a little bit in the save file we're going to use. I think, though, we're all caught up. Should we jump forward 20 years from now? I think we should. Let's go. All right, the year then is 2041. We're 20 years in the future. And what we're going to do, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to jump back to 2026. We're going to go through all of the league finishes for Barcelona first of all. So hopefully it's going to be in chronological order and it will all make sense and not be too confusing. Then we'll go and have a look at the transfers. Then we'll look at the managers. Then we'll check out the team because I feel like 20 years in the future, there might be some funky players that we can have a look at. And then, yeah, any other things that you do want to see. You'll have to let me know in the comments so that in the next videos I can check them out and stuff, because there are some fun things that happen, like Bruno Fernandes became the England manager in one of these simulations, so I will keep an eye out for those things. But let's jump to the league tables then and see how things have gone since 2026. All right, then here we are. The year is 2026 again. We've jumped back to where we started. Barcelona, of course, finished 5 seasons in second place on 85 points. Let's go through and see if they managed to win this La Liga title that, of course, they would have desperately wanted to. It would have been a long time by now since they've won one. 5 years without one at all. And then I think there's a few years before that, right? So 2026 second. I mean, it didn't take long. 2027, they did win the league. Champions, 93 points. So that's one league title in the bag straight away. It didn't take long. 6 years, in fact. They have got themselves a first division title, a La Liga title. Did they go on a bit of an era here? Was it a Barcelona era? A season after that, they won it again. So 2 in the bag, 2028. After that, 3. All right, there are 3 in a row here. 4? No, oh my word. Celta Vigo won it in 2030. They've dropped down to 3rd again, but still 85 points is not a bad points total anyway. So 3 league titles, right? Any more? They won it again in 2031, again in 2032, again in 2033 and 2034. They've won, I think that's what, like 7 now? 8, 9, 10, 11. Then the Real Madrid won it. We're almost at the end now. And then Real Madrid won it in the most recent. I think they won 11 league titles. You'll have to check that in the recording because I feel like I've lost count. But they've been brilliant. In this 20 years, well, it's an extra 15 years. I think they won the league 11 times there. That is outrageous. I'm very interested now. I've used that thing again. I've said very interested. I'm very interested, though, to add the manager and actually see what the finances are looking like. Because that many league titles, I mean, maybe some Champions League wins. Who knows? That could be quite fun to see. Let's jump in and have a look at some of the transfers. In fact, let's see the did they win the Champions League? Now that I do want to know that now. After winning so many league titles, did they win a Champions League? Into other current champions this year. How do I see the past winners look? Did they? Oh my word. No. They've actually come runners up in the most recent season. Look, they came runners up in 2027-28. They've not won a Champions League. Lots for Inter. Inter have won 6, 7 in this period. Inter Milan become very good in FM22. Liverpool got a couple. PSG got a couple. City got a couple. Barcelona, 0. Real Madrid even, 0. That's not what I would expect necessarily. So Champions League, no. Let's have a look at the transfers then that Barcelona did make before we add a manager and have a look at the finances. The manager now is Wolfgang Schneider. By the way, we will check out the other managers of the club as well. Let's jump to 2026. So in 2026, they spent 46 million, sold 50 million pounds worth. Have a look at the players. I think at some stage, they're all going to be regens or new gens, so it's less interesting. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, though, signing on a free here. That's a funky one. Paul Pogba signed for Barcelona. A few other players in there too. 23 million sold, spending 71. I'm looking actually at these bar charts. They had a really big season here, didn't they? But after that, there's not that much in terms of, I mean, less than 100 for most of the years. Just over 100 for a couple. Let's go through them. Let's continue. Only 3 million spent the year after that. Leroy Sané on a free. They're still making use of those free transfers, which they've kind of done in real life, haven't they, with the financial situation with Depay and Aguero, who since has been unable to play. Paul Pogba, by the way, went to Montpellier after a season for 500k. I like that. 2029, Frank Kessié joined for 15. Guendouzi for 31 million pounds in 2029. They spent 69 million pounds. Nice. Let's continue through. They sold a couple of people on a free. 25 million pounds spent the year after that. 49 million pounds raised. Guendouzi sold to Newcastle for 2.7 million pounds. Marc Cucurella, by the way, wasn't he ex-Barcelona youth before he went to Brighton and stuff? I think he was, right? He's back at Barcelona, then sold on to Liverpool for 26 million pounds in 2030. After that, 45 million spent. Do we recognise any of these? Justin Kluivert on a free transfer. The keeper, Farinez there. 88 million pounds in players sold. The big one being David Meyer, who's since retired. He went to PSG. 2032, they spent a bit of money, 102 million pounds. So Bosley there, Illich there, Iturbe in, 69 million pounds in player sales. Nice. Including in those players is Matthias Arezzo for 43 million pounds. He obviously turns out quite well in FM22 as well then. 38 million pounds the year after that. I think most of those are new gens. 49 million pounds in sales. 92 million spent in 2034. Dest was brought back to the club on a free transfer. The biggest signing there being Alosman from Inter, who is a left back. He's now 35. And I think we're going to see more and more new gens here. 109 million pounds spent, by the way, the year before that, look. The most of that coming for, I think, a new gen, Alder Pedro to Manchester City. Let's keep going, but I think most of these now. Percy Ellis is definitely a new gen, isn't he? 100% a new gen. South African midfielder. Looks quite good. Dest also went to Lokomotiv Moscow that season. 45 spent the year after that as well. 76 million pounds spent the year after that in 2037. 46, it's not massive spending, is it? And they're still getting quite a bit in terms of sales as well here. There's a few more spent there, a few more million spent there. 84, 79, and then that is the most recent season. So I don't think their spending's been huge by any stretch. They've achieved loads of La Liga titles. They've probably won one or two other competitions as well, actually, haven't they? In terms of maybe some cups and things like that. Difficult to see, and really, I'm not sure it's that interesting necessarily. But the big one being Champions League 0, La Liga titles 11. That's a very bit. It's quite actually probably a bit disappointing as a club to have won that many league titles but not been so good in Europe. The last thing we're going to do for this video is I'm going to add a manager to the club in 2024 so we can have a quick little peek at the finances. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's just have a look at the managers. Oh, my word. Oh, look, no, this... Okay, so after Enrique, this save here, it was me. Wolfgang Schneider has been the manager for 14 years. He won 15 cups and 11 leagues. There's the cups that he won. Spanish Cup loads of times. They won the Europa League once and the European Super Cup once. But won the cup, a lot of cups and 11 league wins. I was correct. That is insane that he's been the manager that much. Wolfgang Schneider, who I don't even necessarily know who he is. Is that his real name or is that just like a licensing thing? I'm not even quite sure, but 14 years in charge. That is huge. He's got like a proper era there. Wow, I was not expecting that. That was after Enrique we kind of ousted him a little bit, didn't we, in 2026, but no worries about that. Let's add a manager and have a look at the finances. Okay, here we are then, added as the manager. The status for the finances is listed as okay. The transfer budget, they've still got 40 million pounds to spend, which is what I've actually found really with Barcelona. I've done a Barcelona save myself over on Facebook, actually. We're doing a rebuilding Barcelona save. If you want to check those out, I'll put the links in the description as well. It's been very interesting because despite having no money and all of this debt, they still do give you transfer budget, which I'm not sure it's a wise decision by the board, but I suppose it makes it a little bit easier to, you know, go and win league titles, as Wolfgang Schneider did manage to do. Let's have a look at the finances then. 117 million pounds in debt. Still got a budget of 40 million to go and spend. The projection, I'd imagine, is terrible. Yeah, it doesn't get much better. The debt then, this is the big one. Oh, okay. Only 112 million pounds in debt. They've almost completely wiped out that 1 billion pounds worth of debt that they have at the start of the game, and it's only taken them 20 years. A few more years and they're going to get themselves back in the black, if you like. That's quite well done, actually, considering they still do give these transfer budgets. I suppose that many league wins is going to do that many cup wins, and keeping the same manager and not sacking him and having to pay loads and stuff. 112 million pounds in debt. It's not too bad. And that, I think, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone for there. But that, I think, is where we will leave it for today. If you've enjoyed this, please do leave a like on the video. Leave me some comments down below. If you spotted anything that I've missed there, please do let me know in the comments. I usually do miss something, right? And if you want to see more videos like this, then do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn the bell on for notifications as well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.